What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today the biggest story in the country right now is the EPSTEIN files. Why? Because it's a giant document dump, emails exposed, and lo and behold, Donald Trump is all over those emails. Now, I would cover that story, but I already know that Trump is a pedophile. I already know he's a rapist. I already know he's a serial harasser of women. I already know he's a vile, disgusting human being. I already know all of this. And anyone who has been paying attention and is not in a cult, you all know it too. For those of you who are in that cult and still find Trump to be your American Idol, well, you're pedophile adjacent. And you need to look in the mirror and see what's wrong with you. Because if you trust your 14 and 15-year-old daughter around Trump, knowing what we know, I would say you are one sick, depraved puppy. And if you're not willing to call it out, then I really have no use for you anyway. I don't value your opinion. I don't care what you think. You're just lost in the sauce and a pedophile protector. So, I mean, it is what it is. Enjoy yourself, you sicko. So besides covering that, because every news outlet is covering that, I decided to bring you something different. Something that is a little more pressing for us, working folks. Something that matters more in our world as working folks. People think that there are different classes. They think there's lower class, middle class, upper middle class. They think that that's true. It's not true. That's a lie that was made up by the owner class to divide the working class. There are only two classes, the owner class and the worker class. And the working class is anybody that has to work in order to pay bills and survive. If you have to work to survive, congratulations, you're in the working class. I don't care if that means you're a lawyer. I don't care if that means you're a doctor. I don't care if that means you're a physicist. You're working class. If you have to work, you're working class. If you don't have to work and you can live off of the money that your family has acquired from the working class over the past several decades, then congratulations, you're in the owner class. And quite frankly, you're probably a piece of trash. But let's move forward, shall we? We're going to talk about the Starbucks strike. The Starbucks strike, which started today. And I don't feel like you're going to hear a lot about it. So let's dive in. This is straight from the Starbucks Workers United website discussing the strike. So let's find out what it's all about and why it's important and why you should not purchase your coffee at Starbucks until this is resolved. Do not cross the picket line. I don't care how much you like your caramel frappuccino. Stay away from Starbucks until this is resolved. Here we go. Our strike, the Red Cup Rebellion. Over 1,000 union baristas kicked off the Red Cup Rebellion unfair labor practice strike on Thursday, November 13th, protesting Starbucks' historic union busting and failure to finalize a fair union contract. The open-ended strike comes after 6 months of Starbucks refusing to offer new proposals to address the workers' demands for better staffing, higher pay, and resolution for hundreds of unfair labor practice charges. For the latest from the picket lines and the actions, make sure that you follow or check up on the Starbucks Workers United on social media. They have a Facebook page, Instagram, X, TikTok. They're all over the place. Here's a quote. We're turning the Red Cup season into the Red Cup Rebellion. Starbucks refuses to settle a fair union contract and end union busting, and that's forcing us to take drastic action, said Dachi Spoltori, a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania barista of 5 years who is on a ULP strike. We're striking for a fair union contract, resolution of unfair labor practices, and a better future at Starbucks. For every one barista on strike, dozens more allies and customers have pledged to honor the picket line and not buy Starbucks while we're on strike. So how did we get here? More than 18 months after National Framework contract bargaining began, baristas are on strike to protest the growing list of unresolved unfair labor practices Starbucks has allegedly committed, while the company also continues to stonewall progress toward a fair contract. Here's a quick summary of how Starbucks is stonewalling progress towards a fair contract. Number 1, national framework bargaining began on April 2024. Over the subsequent 9 months, baristas and Starbucks executives met for hundreds of hours and notched 33 tentative agreements that will tangibly improve the workplace. In September 2024, union baristas first presented a set of economic proposals for negotiation to increase wages and benefits. In December of 2024, Starbucks said no to all of the baristas' proposals and in exchange put forth an unserious economic package that did not raise wages in the first year of the contract, nor did it address the core issues of hours and staffing. Talks then broke down. Starbucks backtracked on the previously agreed upon path forward. This prompted Workers United to file a national unfair labor practice charge in December 2024, alleging Starbucks had failed to bargain in good faith and was undermining the representative status of the union. This ULP was amended and expanded in April of 2025. In 2025, the company unlawfully implemented new policies without bargaining with the union, such as components of Back to Starbucks and the restrictive new dress code, leading to more unfair labor practice charges. Workers United has filed over 100 new ULPs over the last year. Recently, Starbucks started saying they'll go back to the bargaining table to talk, but simply going to the bargaining table is pointless without Starbucks' commitment to offer new proposals that address baristas' demands on increasing hours and staffing, raising pay, and resolving hundreds of unfair labor practices. We've been clear and consistent all year. Our 3 remaining unaddressed demands are: Number 1, we demand better hours to improve staffing in our stores. Understaffing is rampant, leading to longer wait times as customer orders stream in. Yet, too many baristas still aren't getting enough hours to pay the bills or meet the threshold for benefits. Starbucks needs to invest in increasing our hours. Number 2, we demand higher take-home pay so we can pay our bills. Too many baristas struggle to get by, while executives make millions. Starbucks needs to put more money toward our take-home pay. Number 3, we demand resolution for hundreds of outstanding unfair labor practice charges for union busting. The coffee giant has committed more labor law violations than any employer in modern history. Starbucks needs to fully resolve legal issues impacting baristas. Unless Starbucks becomes a union coffee shop, I will no longer shop at Starbucks. You won't find my dollars going to these crooks, these criminals. Not going to happen. Our union fight. Starbucks Workers United is made up of 11,000 baristas at over 550 active Starbucks stores. They have launched an open-ended unfair labor practice strike demanding a fair union contract, resolution of unfair labor practices, and a better future at Starbucks. Union baristas are prepared to make this the largest and longest strike in company history during the critical holiday season. Starbucks partners around the country are experiencing the same systemic problems: short staffing, unpredictable scheduling, low pay, rising healthcare costs, harassment, broken equipment, and unfair discipline. We saw that through worker-to-worker organizing, it was possible to address systemic issues by taking a unified stand, and that we can only lock in lasting change through a fair union contract. CEO Brian Nicole is on the hook for turning Starbucks around, but his Back to Starbucks plan is not working. Sales are down, customers and baristas are unhappy, and stores are understaffed, causing long wait times. Customers, especially younger customers, are turning away from Starbucks, finding other options and spending their hard-earned money elsewhere. Now, baristas are fed up with Starbucks' union busting and failure to finalize a fair contract, and they're taking action. We have won a lot as a union, but Starbucks continues to stonewall us during contract negotiation. It's time to get this done so we can all move forward. And that is a summary of the Starbucks strike, which began today. So if you pass by a Starbucks and you see the baristas outside striking, you make sure and show them some support. They need to know that the public, we're behind them, that we got their back. And us as labor people, we should be the first ones to have their back. Bring them some water, bring them a pizza, stand on the line with them, show some solidarity. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember that the fight's not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there could be no union without you and I front and center. So let's go. Peace.